Okay, now we're going to look at the definition of a function. A function is a machine that eats input and spits out output according to a rule. And the really important thing here is that it follows a rule. Okay. Well, you have an input, you have an output, but there's a rule for assigning each output to each input. And it says, since this rule must be well defined, every input can only correspond to one output. So I think this is summed up nicely in a cartoon or a diagram here. So the first, I'll just give you an example of a function. It's taking input x1 and it can map it to any output it wants. And so one way you could define a function is send x1 to y1, maybe send x2 to y2, and send x3 to y2 as well, and nothing is mapped to y3. And this is a function. And it's a function because every input has exactly one output. And it's okay that some outputs get more than one input. That's fine. The function still knows that if it eats x3, it's going to spit out y2. If it eats x2, it's going to spit out y2. If it eats x1, it spits out y1. So the machine knows exactly what to do here. The rule is clear anyways. Now, in the second example, I'll just give you an idea of something that's not a function. That would be like if x1 were to get to map to y1 and sometimes, and then x1 gets mapped to y2 sometimes. And already now I can say that this is not a function. And the reason is that if the machine eats x1, it doesn't know what to do. It could spit out y1, it could spit out y2. Since there isn't a clear rule here defining what should happen when it eats x1, it's not going to be a function. And it doesn't matter what happens to these other variables. Maybe x3 gets sent to y3. The fact that there's one input getting sent to two outputs means it's not a function.